I now call the appointments meeting of the Gardner City Council's Friday, February 9th, 2024 at noon meeting to order. The record should reflect that all members of the committee are present. Chair Tyros, Councilor Heath, Councilor Mack, also present is Mayor Nicholson. Announcement of open meeting recordings. Is anyone here today recording today's meeting? There being none. As this is the first meeting of the subcommittee for this term, I'd like to make a brief statement before we begin. The purpose of this committee is to oversee the flow of appointments made by the mayor to various positions in city government in a thorough and transparent manner. Our aim is to ask questions and have discussions of these critical appointments, their duties, the work they do for the city, to better inform city councilors when this committee presents on recommendations to the council for their consideration. My intent in chairing this committee is to ensure the timely appointment or reappointment of city officials and to ensure that the full council has the information they need to make a decision on the mayor's appointment. This committee does not make final decisions on the appointments, and all of our recommendations are subject to council approval or rejection. I'll invite the appointees and their supervisors to make a brief statement if they wish, and to take questions from the committee if they are willing. At the conclusion, I will entertain motions on recommendations for the appointment. First item of business is item 11125, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Barbara LeBlanc to the position of Council on Aging member for a term expiring January 8th, 2027. Very formal.
Very formal.
Mr. Mayor, would you like to give a report?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mrs. LeBlanc has been a very strong member of the community. I remember her growing up when she was a lecturer at Holy Spirit Church. And then has continued to really see her involvement with her family over at John's Sports Shop and as a former school teacher. It's really someone who I think is very fitting of the role, who knows the community and just understands Gardner. This is a position that when vacancies become available, because Mrs. LeBlanc is filling a vacancy that was on the Council on Aging, they actually vote to make a recommendation to my office as to who should fill it, and they all voted for Barbara LeBlanc. So I think she's going to be great addition. You served as a associate member,
yes. Yep.
Which is a item allowed under the general laws of the Commonwealth for non-appointed members to help provide input and guidance to the Council on Aging. So she's really just getting a promotion, for lack of a better term, to a full council viewed position on the role.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Would you like to make a welcoming statement?
Well, I've been on as an associate for a while, and I just wanted to get more involved, and when a vacancy became available, I said I would try. Here I am.
Excellent. Councilor Mack, Heath?
I've known Ms. LeBlanc for many years and know that she would be a positive member of this committee, and I thank you for stepping up for the role. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I also have known her for a long time. Unanimous by your peers says a lot. You know, I witness from the outside. I don't really know what everyone does, so you know, I'm going to learn a lot over at the appointments and everything else. But that's great. That's fantastic. Thank you for everything that you do.
Welcome.
Yes.
And I apologize too. The senior center director is also here. If you have any statements?
No, I think everything's been said. I just want to congratulate Barbara on the promotion. It comes with a substantial raise. I would like to make a statement to the council. The mayor knows we're in contact all the time. Our Council on Aging is far more robust and active than it's ever been. So when members do, make the offer to be a permanent member, they know there's some work involved, and that's one of the things I very much appreciate of Barbara and the other appointees today is they have agreed wholeheartedly and have demonstrated the willingness to do that work. So, thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome.
And I always certainly appreciate when someone's willing to step up for their community and get more involved. So thank you very much for doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we recommend to the full council the appointment of Barbara LeBlanc to the Council on Aging.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Mack, seconded by Councilor Heath to recommend confirmation of the mayor's appointment. Is there discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You don't have to say the rest, but you can if you want to.
I'll stay.
All right. Going in order, item 11128, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Robert Charlin, Esquire, to the position of Assistant City Solicitor for a term expiring January 1st, 2025. As As is seen, the assistant solicitor is not present, nor is the city solicitor, disappointingly. So if the committee would be so inclined, I'd like to recommend keeping this item on our agenda and asking for more time.
I agree. Yep.
Thank you. Moving forward, item 11149, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Kathy O'Brien to the position of Council on Aging member for a term expiring January 8th, 2027. Report from the mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This is a reappointment to the Council on Aging. If you may remember, in the last term, we amended the city ordinance that governs the Council on Aging and removed the provisions that said that aside from those members that were appointed by the mayor, confirmed by the city council, there were members who were automatically guaranteed seats based off of positions that they had with the AARP or the Golden Agers Club. We made it so that now all members are appointed by the mayor, subject to confirmation by the council. Mrs. O'Brien did have, I believe, the AARP, no, that was someone else, but that was Gloria Tarpey, had the AARP seat. But this is just another change to make sure that we're reappointing the members who are interested in continuing to serve on the board. I've heard nothing but good feedback based on what Ms. O'Brien has done in her tenure on the Council on Aging. It's something like the director said, it's a more active group now. And as we start moving towards planning for the eventual move to Waterford Street School, but still remembering that we still have a senior center that's active before that move takes place. So things still need to happen now before the move happens. So it's a planning and an action group at the same time. I think she's great, and I appreciate your vote of confidence in her continuing to serve on this role.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Oh, it's up to me now.
It's up to you now, if you wish.
All I can say is really, I started at the senior center after my retirement about 10 years ago, and eventually, just by participating in different events, I somehow started going to the meetings and became an associate member. The secretary at that point was retiring from her position, and I had the secretary skills. I guess I was kind of missing them because I was a secretary with special education for almost 30 years, and I just wanted to get back into something where I could be helpful, and I like volunteering and helping people. Helping people is basically what I do.
That's excellent. Thank you.
Just a quick comment, and Kathy alluded to it, she has also been serving as our secretary of the organization, which is again a heavy lift. We demand more and ask more, supporting them in the work that they do, but she does so willingly and without reservation. I was a little bit remiss in my comments earlier. I didn't take the opportunity to, and I need to if you would afford me the pleasure to do so, to also just let you know in attendance is the chairman of the Council on Aging, Ron Darmetka, who under his leadership has really been getting these folks excited about and engaged in all of the stuff we're doing at the center. So I appreciate you, Kathy, and all the work that you do.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for attending to support your appointments. I appreciate that. Councilor Mack?
I've known Kathy for many years. As in my former position at Gardner High School, she and I worked together with CAPS Collaborative, and I can always tell you that if I ever needed anything, Kathy was the one to get right back to me, and I could always trust her to provide the accurate information. But I just want to make a statement in general, because we are concentrating on the appointments for the Council on Aging, that Gardner is extremely fortunate to have such a robust senior center with the merited programs. This, along with a very strong Council on Aging. The Council on Aging's role is to advocate for our senior population. It should be comprised of citizens who are committed to actively promoting and fostering the programs for our elderly in the community, identifying the needs and interests of our seniors, encouraging them to attend program, and educating them to different resources within the community. I want to applaud Mr. Ellis and Ron, the chair of the Council on Aging, as well as the mayor for his appointees that he has selected, because we are very fortunate, and I'm confident that our Council of Aging is in very good hands. So I just want to appreciate that. You know, every appointee to this group your role is very much appreciated by myself and the city. Thank you.
Can I add something?
Absolutely.
Okay, I would just like to say that I basically agree with you, and I mean, I was there before Mike was there, and what Mike has done to help improve and add to the Council on Aging has amazed many of us. We're so proud of him with all the work that he's done. He's really increased what we need to do for the Council on Aging, and he's helpful to very many people.
Excellent. Councilor Heath?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to say thank you. I'm not sure if I worked with you before. I worked with a lot of different people. However, I just want to go ahead and note the fact that you have the director here and obviously yourself here, the head. That says a lot about both of you and everything that you guys bring to the table. His energy is
Unsurmountable by anybody.
his energy, his direction, and it's definitely, it shows within the group that you guys have that it's contagious. You know, I've heard nothing but great things coming out of the Council of Aging. You as an individual yourself, obviously you volunteer in multiple levels besides this right here, which is great as well. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much. And to take an active role like secretary is a lot of work. So I think your efforts are very much appreciated. And I think it's a really important reason why, even though this is a reappointment on a larger board, that we have you here for a discussion, because it's important to appreciate the people doing work in our city. So thank you.
I'll make a motion that we approve Kathy O'Brien as a member of Council on Aging and put her appointment to the full city council.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Mack, seconded by Councilor Heath to recommend confirmation of the mayor's appointment. Is there discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next item of business is item 11151, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Teresa Hillman to the position of Council on Aging member for a term expiring January 8th, 2027. Report from the mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I don't know when Mrs. Hillman started on the Council on Aging, because I feel like she's been there forever with all the work that she's done. She's continuously been reappointed by several mayors in the past to serve on this role, and she continues to make an active part of the community. If you saw that she is my appointee to the CAC's board, she's still the recording secretary for the school committee, and she takes an active part over at the senior center through her role on the Council on Aging, so I would really highly recommend her reappointment to this role.
Thank you for the report. Mr. Director, would you like
Ms. Hillman sends her apologies for not being able to be here today. Most of you know her and have had the experience of interacting with her. The mayor has gone over some of her little bit of resume and work experience in the city, but I'll just say she also serves as our treasurer. So we have two officers being reappointed today. Terry helps prepare intimately the financial reports of the Council on Aging, all of our accounts every month, and then provides a lot of information, access, and resources to seniors who may have questions about our finances and financial activity. And she takes very seriously that role. So I'm excited to have her. We couldn't have any better advocates than the 7 appointed members and the 14 additional associate members of the Senior Center, exemplified by Terry Hillman's work.
I think it's also worth mentioning, this group does have their own specific gift account that's authorized by the city council every year, and expenditures out of that account are actually overseen by this council. So they actually do have some fiduciary responsibility to the city and its residents and those who oversee the programming over there too. So there is an actual active role. So when you hear the term secretary and treasurer on a city board, sometimes you're like, well, what does that actually mean? Because the city treasurer downstairs runs all of our finances and stuff like that. It's disbursements from the gift account and other different senior center restricted finances that come in that are done through the vote of this council.
Thank you. Councilor Heath?
Again, it says a lot when you have the team advocating for you. I don't know if I know her. I'm a face person.
I'm
Names
sure
and
you
terrible
know her.
names. However, again, she serves on multiple levels, which is great. She's a volunteer. I love that. I love it. That's all.
Thank you, Councilor Heath. Councilor Mack?
Terry Hillman has been a constant presence in the city in many different roles for many different years, and I have to say, I think she's ageless. I think she looks exactly the same now as she did when I first met her probably 30 years ago when I started in the school department, and she was the secretary of the school committee then. She is a wonderful person and very generous of her time, so I'm happy to support this reappointment.
I'm also very pleased to see this appointment and to know that Ms. Hillman serves in such a magnitude of different roles across the community. And
I believe she also goes to Fitchburg and is the recording secretary of the Money Tech School
That is
Committee as
true,
well.
yes.
amazing,
So she's-
excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's really fantastic, and I'm really pleased to see this.
I would, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we reappoint Teresa Hillman to the position of Council of Aging and that we bring this, our approval to the full council.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Max, seconded by Councilor Heath to recommend the mayor's appointment. Is there discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, no? Motion passes. Thank you. Item 11152, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Gloria Tarpey to the position of Council on Aging member for a term expiring January 8th, 2027. Report from the mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This again is a reappointment. Ms. Tarpey is very active in the community. She was under the previous ordinance a member through her role as the president of the Golden Agers Club. You saw my appointment of her as the president of the Golden Agers come through last week, as is required by their bylaws. But where we changed the ordinance, now she does have to come before this council for recommendation and approval. She's someone who's been an active voice over at the Senior Center, active voice with the Golden Agers Club and the programming that happens through the Golden Agers Club. I've constantly heard feedback, at least from those who come to visit City Hall, about the Silver Sneakers program of the Golden Agers Club. Mike can tell you all about what that is because it still goes over my head a little bit. But it's something that, when someone does a good job with their role, why change it? And she's doing an excellent job, so I put my full faith in her at this appointment.
Thank you. Mr. Director.
Gloria Tarpey has been a steadfast and stalwart supporter of the Council on Aging for many years. And in her role as Golden Age, she is able to get other people involved in senior activities and continues to, in wearing both hats, make sure that people know and understand what we do at the Senior Center. So she's a great advocate, a great mouthpiece. She's one of our best ambassadors, and an active member of the council. And I think one of the things that you will see if you are able to watch our videos of the meetings or participate in the meeting, that the mayor's done a really good job. We talk all the time in terms of identifying people in the community that can help and support. We have the dream team. We have the dream team of council members. Certainly that's true with Gloria. She takes a role that's very active and engaged and keeps us strong. So.
Thank you. Councilor Heath.
Again, I'm not sure if I know her. I know a lot of people. However, coming from the recommendation of you guys, that says a lot. Again, I do have one question. What's the Golden Age?
Golden Age Club. So the Golden Age Club is really a social organization for seniors. They're separate and have been arm's length relationship with the Senior Center in years past. So they meet once a month. They do a program, a speaker program, do social activities, and we support them much more rigorously now than we ever have. So we give them the staff support and the logistical support to make their program successful. We figure, all boats float in a rising tide. Golden Age Club does well, the Senior Center does well, AARP does well, and that has certainly proved true. Since you asked the question, I'll also tell you AARP is a separate organization from the Senior Center, but supported by the Senior Center. And AARP is a service organization, so its principle is to bring seniors together to go back into the community and do some kind of volunteer service work.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, what started as 3 organizations is now kind of helping form one. And that's when the 3 organizations were around. That's why we used to have the ordinance that said the presidents of each of those had a seat at the Council on Aging, was to make sure that we weren't duplicating efforts that have the same result from the same group of people. So if you're, each doing a yoga class at the same time at a different place for the same age group with the same people wasn't really helping anything. So it helped just make things a more cohesive unit. Now that we have that cohesive unit, it's really just, subgroups and clubs that help our seniors. It's actually anyone 55 and over.
Yeah, the Gardner Senior Center is 50 years of age and older. We, if I may just say that, just so that you all know, and I love to talk about this to the council and the welfare committee as well, is our mission is 50 years of age and older, but we have never checked anybody's license or date of birth. We have seniors that come in with caregivers who are well under 50 years of age, and we have folks in the community that for whatever reason they need that social interaction, that fellowship or support. So we don't, discriminate or discern services, segregate services for people just 15 over. But our principal mission is for folks 15 over. Technically, by the way, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts identifies a senior as anyone over 60 years of age for reasons of funding predicated on additional support for programs, and we're able to kind of siphon that out or measure it, against other resources. So nobody gets denied service.
Where that gets important is one of the things I talked about before is the funding that they receive. So they do receive an annual formula grant from the state's Department of Elder Services. What that means is our seniors, when they go to the senior center, actually check in, and we provide annually a listing of this many people utilized services at the senior center this year. And so the formula grant that we receive is X number of dollars per person who utilizes that senior center annually. So when we talk about growing programming at the senior center and getting it so that more people want to get involved and more of our senior age population wants to go here, and it's not viewed as a place that really not much is going on, but is an active and lively center and brings those extra people in, it actually substantially helps the city financially, because that's why we look for, and do you use the FOB system now that you have in? Yep. To make sure that if you're going to the senior center, you do fob in and check in, so that you can get reported, and every time you go actually helps the city out financially from the state in the end.
And just to expand a little bit above that we do get funding based on utilization. The state also gives us a small per capita for all seniors in the community, which is why we are working this year. We implemented part of our strategic plan is to see how we can bring services outside of the center. We should not just be a senior center for seniors that walk in the door, but a senior center that provides services for anybody in the community that needs it, including our working seniors. A lot of folks 65, 67 years of age are still employed. They don't get home till 4 or 5 o'clock. So how do we bring services to them and meet their needs outside of the normal working hours? We're working on it. We don't have an answer yet, but we're working on it.
And Ms. Tarpey is a great person to help in all of those functions. Just to bring it back to the appointment.
Well done,
We'll get
Mr.
on.
Mayor. Council Max.
I've known Gloria Tarpey for years. She's been a strong advocate. She was the first one to advocate for PFLAG in the Gardner Public Schools many years ago in the 90s. And she was an elementary school teacher. I've never seen Gloria without a smile on her face.
Ever.
She is just a wonderful individual, and I don't think you could have a better person on your team. And I just want to make a side note that now I know why they encouraged me the last time I did the pastry and bread raffle to put my name in, because it's over 50. But thank you. I wasn't as excited as I thought I was.
You just became eligible.
Actually, I'll be fully eligible this year. So, no, I just want to say Mrs. Tarpey is just a fabulous human being and such a kind, good-hearted person. I think she's just a wonderful a person to be on this council. Thank you.
Now I do have a question, because I heard silver sneakers mentioned. Are guests allowed to partake in activities as well, or is it?
Yes, so our version of silver sneakers is fun and fitness. So we can't use, silver sneakers is actually like a copyrighted activity. So we use fun and fitness, and by doing fun and fitness, Zumba, we're able to really tailor our program for the seniors as opposed to running the regimented silver sneakers or other copyrighted programs. So yeah, like I said earlier, we don't check licenses. We invite and encourage all folks, because honestly, if I can get somebody who's in their middle age or younger involved in the center today, it means they're going to be a utilizer 10 or 15 years from now.
Bring your grandma to Zumba Day is always a great day.
I would hope so, and I just want to reiterate, I think this is the purpose of this committee, right? To have these discussions, to make our citizens aware of the services, the people who do the work in our community and our municipal offerings. So I want to thank everyone for their discussion on this topic and entertain a recommendation.
I'll make a motion that we recommend Gloria Tarpey for reappointment to the Council on Aging to the full council.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Max, second by Councilor Heath to recommend the mayor's appointment. Is there discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion passes. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Mack to adjourn, second by Councilor Heath. Is there, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, no. We stand adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mayor, can I just give you this reminder?
Yes. Yeah.